Hey Sneak Peekers, my name is Madeline, and we're on the red carpet for Austin Film Festival for the premiere of Not Without Hope. So you're portraying the role of Nick Schuyler. Did you have a chance to speak with him while preparing for your role?
I did, yeah. Fortunately, we were able to get on the phone a few times before we started filming, and I was able to do my best to pick his brain and heart and find out what was it like for him as authentically as possible, so I could then bring that as authentically as I could onto the screen.
How involved were you in this film?
I wasn't directly involved with it. I had some conversations with Zach and a couple of guys in the cast prior. Rick French has represented me since day one, so he's kind of always had my back, and what's been most important, I was on the guys. So as far as involvement on the feature, not hands-on, but between the book and the story itself.
How do you prepare yourself mentally or physically to portray someone in such an intense situation?
Well, physically, I prepared for Will Bleakley. I put on 20 pounds. So eating a lot, working. I was in the gym 6 days a week. I was doing cold plunges to try to prepare for the cold, and I was swimming. So I was really getting after it physically. Mentally, besides just listening to the book a lot and reading the script, I had some ideas, but ultimately that kind of went out the window when we got in the water tanks because it's so immersive. You're off balance and getting hit with water and you're cold. All your plans go out the window and you're very present. So that was kind of a gift to us as actors.
I think physically, I'll start with that. He was a linebacker, NFL linebacker, so quite a bit bigger than me. And so I had to gain somewhere in the 15 to 20 pound range. I wanted to be prepared for the water, so I did a whole lot of swimming and stuff as well on top of the working out. And then on the mental side, I just researched him a ton. Did as much as I could, as far as YouTube and getting into the mindset, and then just really being in the best place, so I knew I could be my best self while we were filming, and just bring that to it, and really want to honor him and honor them.
Well, the truth is, we didn't really have to do a lot of pre-preparation because we got thrown into a massive water tank that was freezing and very arduous. I mean, the whole thing was very physically taxing, and so we just kind of took that and used that to, infuse into the characters.
How did you ensure your story was accurately told through the film?
Well, it's Hollywood, so, we did the book roughly 1 year after the accident, so that's good. The book itself's going on 16, the accident's going on 17. So knowing how, the way that the movies work and special effects and that, we knew nothing's going to be exact, which is okay. Again, the most important thing has been honoring the guys and the brotherhood that we share, and I believe the team and, Joe and everyone else involved, they really did that.
So the movie is about hope. What does hope mean to your character?
Interesting question. I think hope gives you the power to go beyond what you thought was possible. I think I don't want to spoil anything with my character, but I do think that leaning on each other and the camaraderie pushed the real men in the story and us as actors to go beyond what we thought we could manage.
Hope at that time for him meant just putting himself out there, providing for his family, making the next NFL team that he can make, and those guys that kind of bounce around the league a little bit from training camp to training camp. It's a tough life, you have to pick up and move maybe each and every year, and that was tough on the family. So I think, still having that hope, still having that drive, still having that want to play and provide, and be a great figure, head of the household. I think that's what it might mean to Marquise.
It means never giving up. It means going until we absolutely have no other option. And I think that's what I loved about this character, is that he, no matter what, wasn't going to give up on these guys. And also, when he knew that there was a chance that some of them weren't going to survive, he still kept looking.
Hope is believing beyond what is directly in front of you, putting my hope in God, that even though I don't understand what's happening in my life in any given moment, there's a plan, that there's purpose, that there is a silver lining at the end of whatever the dark tunnel might be. That's what hope is for me.
Working as a filmmaker as well, how does that influence you as an actor? Or in reverse, how does working as an actor influence you as a filmmaker?
My my background, my foundation in filmmaking makes me just want to be the best actor for my director. Come prepared, on time, and just fully buy into their vision.
Right.
It's just such a hard job making a movie, and if everyone is in their best behavior, it's still hard.
Yeah.
So I just try to be the best actor for my director.
Okay, so you said in an interview that you act from a place of empathy with such an emotional story like Not Without Hope. How did you connect that while portraying this role?
Yeah, I think for me it was just remembering that all of these people are real people. Anytime you do something that's a true story, you have a real responsibility to the people that were involved. He's a father, son, cousin, so many things, and I think if you go into it just thinking about the people that he's attached to and what they feel about him and what his friends feel about him, and just knowing I have the responsibility to play him truthfully.
Okay. Was there a particular scene that challenged you the most?
Yeah, there's definitely a few scenes in this, dealing with hypothermia coming on and basically wanting to play that in a realistic way, but again, still honoring the human being. Scenes with the wife, because you want to show that, he was a loving husband and father and all those things. But in particular, there's what I'll call a bit of a goodbye scene that was definitely one that was mentally taxing.
Yeah, okay. So the movie is about hope. What does hope mean to your character?
To my character. Hope at that time for him meant just putting himself out there, providing for his family, making the next NFL team that he can make, and those guys that kind of bounce around the league a little bit from training camp to training camp. It's a tough life, you have to pick up and move maybe each and every year, and that was tough on the family. So I think, still having that hope, still having that drive, still having that want to play and provide, and be a great figure, head of the household. I think that's what it might mean to my piece.
I think it was when I had to face the wives and the mothers of the guys who had been missing. So I think that it was probably that.
Joe Carnahan's films are known for its grittiness and intensity. What is it like working with him?
Gritty and intense. Yeah.
Lastly, do you have any advice for students like us who wants to get in the film industry?
Just don't get yourself into that analysis paralysis treadmill in your mind. Just do things. Just try, fail. All my best lessons come from failing. So, there's no perfect thing. Just if you have enough things, give it a shot.
Just don't give up. I think that's the main thing. There's so many no's that you'll get in this industry. It's really tough to kind of have that inner confidence when everything around you is saying that you can't do it. But you can, and you can make space. And especially nowadays, there's so many things that you can create on your own to really make a place for yourself in this industry. Just don't give up. Find things, local theater, local community theater, anything that you can. Always stay in classes. I think that's it. Just don't give up.
Okay, can you do horns up for us? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Oh man, listen, going to UT I think is a great start, right? I think there are a few good film programs across the country, and I think, in Texas, UT, from what I've heard, has a fantastic one. If McConaughey himself is, showing up and being a professor every once in a while, I think that's a good start. But I will say, and I don't mean to be a wet blanket about this, I think that all students in all fields need to have their eyes open, and more than just the students, everybody needs to really be aware of what AI is about to do in this world and what it's about to do in entertainment. Like right now, I have so many friends that are out of work. And that's before AI even does what AI is about to do. Pre-pandemic, we were making more content than ever before. And then the pandemic and the strikes really just crushed everything, and we've not gotten back to where we were. And now AI is rolling out, and it is going to essentially devastate what's left of the industry. So I don't know what I don't mean. Again, I don't mean to be a wet blanket, but I think that everybody needs to recognize that the entertainment industry is not going to be what it used to be. I don't know how many jobs will be available, but I would say that from an acting standpoint, or even beyond acting, live performance is still going to be something to involve yourself in. Theater. So if you want to be a writer, director, producer, actor, wardrobe designer, set designer, whatever, I would focus on doing theater and live performance, because I think that's, at least for some time, will hold on to humanity.
Yeah.
Film and television and video games and music, I don't know if you've listened to AI music recently, it's unbelievably good. I hate saying it, but it's unbelievably good.
Right.
And that's coming from film and television like that. So that's my advice. I don't know.
Yeah, can you do a...
Hook 'em, baby. Hook 'em.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching Sneak Peekers. If you'd like to see more content on Austin Film Festival, click here.